Hindu issues,
It's
basically.
been a huge part of my life for the last 20 years. I've been in Bangladesh and other countries around there. Certainly I've been to Bharat several times every year. The only years I didn't go were during the pandemic. I've documented what's happening. I've given the information to people in Washington and New Delhi. So I've been working this for a long time. I go all over, I talk, I fight. So yeah, that's my relationship with this issue. Well, if you put it in perspective historically, I mean, things like this have been happening to minorities for a long time. But we have some issues that are real specific to this. First of all, when Bangladesh was created in 1971, people got the idea that this was a democratic country, a modern Muslim state. And so academics, the diplomatic world, governments, they became committed to the notion that this is a moderate state. And you can't say it's a moderate state if they're committing ethnic cleansing, genocide against religious minorities. So that's one thing that makes this different. There's a real resistance among the elites to doing anything. Secondly, unlike some genocides, I'm thinking like the Nazi Holocaust against my people, the Jews, and like the genocide in Rwanda, or even for that matter, the genocide of the Tamil Hindus in Sri Lanka. These things happen quickly, intensely. I think I saw a sign here, stop the drip, drip, drip. That's the other problem. It's happening quietly, but it's happening relentlessly for decades. And it's hard to get people excited. Now, if we could show them, the Gestapo or Auschwitz or something like that, they say, oh, this is serious. Well, we can't. So those two things make this a little different. However, what doesn't make it different at all, is we have innocent people being brutalized because of their faith. Now, every decent person in this world should be behind that, but they're not. And I think that's what we need to ask ourselves. Why? Where have we failed? That for 20 years I've been able to get things done for individuals, get a couple Durga Pujas, we were able to stop things, but it's still here. It's very easy for me to say, oh, it's Islam, it's Islamists, but I think that's just too simplistic an answer. That's for another discussion. But what we do know, who's doing this? Unfortunately, it is the nation of Bangladesh. And why do I say this? Number one, because their governments, and you could start with the one with Sheikh Mujib in 1971, when they got, after the war independent, up to the current idiot who's in office. They have allowed this thing to happen. So this is a national priority, but what have we done about it? Nothing. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is in 2013, there was a study by a very prestigious international organization, the Pew Research Center. And in 2013, they studied attitudes of the Muslim population worldwide. And it turned out the Bangladeshi Muslims were among the most radical in the world. More so than so many other countries. I have a lot of space. But that also meant that a vast majority of people, Muslims in Bangladesh, believe that converting others is a religious duty. Okay, that furthering the faith and running the country via Sharia. Bangladesh had greater numbers of responding yes, positively, than most other Muslim countries. In some cases, more than Pakistan. Mm-hmm. So, who's doing it? I think the nation of Bangladesh, but the rest of us, everyone else, the Hindu community and the rest of people, non-Hindus, we're at fault. Because what the hell have we done? What have we said? Well, I got a suggestion for people. Bangladeshi Hindus have been brutalized, in particular in Durga Puja. Now, a couple years, we got the Awami League government to send out troops and stop that. But Durga Puja is what, in October? This year's not a good year for politicians because they have an election in November. But I would suggest for Durga Puja 2027, we get someone like Raja Krishnamurti, who at that point should be a senator, and say, come, we'd like you to come and observe Durga Puja, in Bangladesh. Or we have other leaders, other Hindu leaders, and not just Hindu leaders. Hindu leaders know leaders from other faiths. They should all be there, to be there for the Hindus of Bangladesh. So the point is, who's at fault? Well, as I said, we can say it's the people who are doing it. We could say it's the government of Bangladesh, but where the hell are the rest of us? Right? It's very interesting. A lot of times when I talk to people privately, off the record, they'll say, well, why isn't India doing anything about it? So this is the thing about Hindus, you're saying, and India's not doing anything about it. Then why should we get all excited about it? Evidently, they don't think it's important enough. Now, the fact is, there actually are certain things that India is doing and has been doing. But again, if you look and you see, well, India's not doing anything, the United States, we're supposed to be champions of human rights and religious freedom, and yet we continue to buy Bangladeshi goods that funds their economy, that lets them continue doing the things they're doing. You know what? Bangladesh at times is the nation in the world that gets the most money from UN peacekeeping. And when it's not one, it's two or three. The United States basically funds peacekeeping. We should be able to have a say how can you send people to keep peace around the world when you can't keep peace at home? I think first of all, as far as the Hindu community, I think I'm rather well educated. I think both on a personal level and like an academic, I know the community well. And so I'm not going to suggest things that people are going to respond to that. I think there are a couple. One, everyone here in the United States who's a citizen gets to vote. Well, the people who are running for office need to know that how they stand on this issue and what they're going to do is important to how you cast your vote. That's number one. Number two, you want to get someone, you really want to get the Bangladeshis and throw a wrench into what they're doing? Bangladeshi economy is inordinately dependent on their sale of ready-made garments and textiles, and their biggest customer is the United States. And I think Walmart is their biggest customer worldwide. If we all got involved in economic activity where we picket those stores that are getting Bangladeshi goods, that people are told this is what's happening and this is what we're doing, we're supporting this. Do you want to support them? Most people don't. I think most people are good people, but we have to do it. And not once, not twice, not at one place out of 100, but continually. Not just Hindus, but the rest of the community. I believe in my country. I love my country, and I believe that we have good people here. But it's a matter of organizing it, and so those are two things. Next time you're going to go to Walmart, tell them, I'm thinking of not coming here anymore because you're Bangladesh's biggest customer, and you know what Bangladesh is doing to Hindus. Tell that. Chances are the first couple of people you talk to are going to kind of roll their eyes and look bored, but you keep saying it. And if they're not going to do anything, then you say, I want to talk to your boss. I want to talk to your boss. And you keep doing it. When you hit a ceiling, it's like, well, now, who at corporate can do this? You just don't shut up. You don't stop. So I would say economic and political strength. The Hindu community can do this and has a great deal of both.